Hi, I'm Charlotte, Business Manager here at NorthGene, and today we're going to show you how to take a DNA sample for legal and immigration purposes. So in your sample collection kit, you should have 2 swabs per participant, 1 consent form per participant, instructions on how to take the samples and return them back to us, and you'll also have a tamper-evident prepaid envelope to return the samples and the paperwork back to our lab. Before the sample collection can take place, you must certify the identity of the person giving the DNA sample. The participant may choose to provide a photograph of themselves, which you must sign and certify to be of true likeness of the donor. Alternatively, you can take a photograph of the donor that you were taking the sample from and email it to our customer services team. You must also check any photo identification that the donor has available and either take a copy of that document or again take a photograph of it and send it to NorthGene at biofortuna.com, certifying that it is of true likeness of the person you are taking the sample from. So for each participant, we will need a legal DNA test consent form to be completed at point of sample collection. Ensure that you have added the NorthGene case reference number here and ask the donor to read through and confirm they understand the donor declaration. Once understood and read, ask the donor to complete the donor information area. This includes their full name, their date of birth, the tested relationship in this case, the form of identification. It will be the photo ID that you witnessed and certified earlier, such as a passport or driver's license. Ensure they tick their biological gender and their ethnicity if known. If the donor is old enough to sign the consent form for themselves, ensure they sign here where it states donor signature and now they tick the donor box. If a person with parental responsibility is signing for a child under the age of 16, request for them to sign in this area, tick the parental responsibility box, and to also write who is signing on the child's behalf. For example, their name and whether they are a foster carer or any other guardian of the child. Finally, the sample collector must sign the sample declaration area of the form. Please complete your name, the date of the collection, your contact address, and this will be the company or GP, for example, that you work for. And then finally, ensure that you have provided a signature in the sample collector information area. For each participant, there will be 2 buccal swabs which you will need to take. Ensure that you have labelled the name of the participant, their date of birth, their believed relationship in this case, and also the case reference number from the legal DNA test consent form. Ensure that this is done for both swabs that you were taking from the one participant, and repeat again for any additional participants in the sample collection. Taking your 2 labelled swabs for the one participant, twist open the swab, and then you want to rotate the end of the swab for 30 seconds on the inside of one cheek before moving with the same swab to the inside of the other cheek again for 30 seconds. Once complete, put the swab inside of the tube and then repeat with the second labelled swab for that participant. Once you have taken the samples from the participants, you need to return them back to our laboratory So take the labelled samples and the completed form, and you want to pop it into our tamper evident bag. Remove the silver foil here, seal the samples. Can be a little bit tricky. And then press firmly down and pop the samples in a post box to return back to our laboratory.